Hip-hop. Anonymous.
Saturdays.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sapo Saturdays. You got ASAP Froggy, Mr. Bingus Frog, and Mr. Doc Frog all day. We have two very special guests. We got Abel and Niqa. Welcome to Sapo Studios.
Thanks for hopping in, everyone, on this beautiful Saturday. So happy to have you here. First I want to shout out Lollyhops for making the Frogland Discord Fort Knox. We were having some issues trying to get the guests in, but it was only because she's trying to protect us so well. And there's so many scams out there on Discord. A lot of people getting really screwed. So we appreciate you, Lolly. Thank you for watching all our back.
Yeah, of course. I'm very glad that we were able to get everyone in here safely and make sure that we were Fort Knox, but still allowing artists and frogs to get in.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that end, our guests have gotten in. So I'll give them an opportunity to just say hi to everyone real quick before we get into things. Abel, you want to hop in there and say hello?
Yeah, sure. How's it going? This is Abel Okugawa. I'm here. Music NFTs have brought me here. It's really awesome to be here and having this conversation today. We already talked about a lot of really interesting points. My background is in music production. I've been composing music for films and, different uses with visual arts for many years. I do this full time, and music NFTs has just really opened up a new door and given me some new tools to use to distribute my art and collaborate with other artists and make it really part of my life. So for about a year, and that's we'll talk about more as we go.
Yeah, no, we will definitely dive into all that. That is awesome. Really excited to talk to you about some of that stuff further. And in terms of collaboration, we have another fantastic artist on with us today, Niqa. Niqa, if you want to say a little hi to everyone before we get into things.
Niqa here. Niqa Mor is my artist name, and I am also another, I would say, a multidisciplinary creator in the NFT space. I've went to school for visual arts, electronic media, and I've always been a singer-songwriter independent for at least, I want to say, around, at least 10 years. But NFTs have really brought me into a new place when it comes to just expanding my creativity. I was, fortunate enough to be able to be a part of a campaign that brought me into the NFT space. And I was able to learn a lot really fast within the last year. And I'm excited to speak with you all today.
That's phenomenal. And we're excited to speak to you as well. Before we get into things, wanted to share with the audience that you might hear us sounding a little bit different today. Not as crystal clear, perhaps. Maybe it's more of a radio effect. Who knows? We're broadcasting remotely today because there's been an Ebola outbreak at ASAP's house. Just kidding. Little COVID scare. But just, we want to be safer rather than sorry. So we're doing things remote. And so it'll be interesting to test the show doing it this way. And that's the beauty of technology now and Web3, right? That we can connect with people across the world if we want to. So it's a beautiful thing. We can still trudge on. And as they say, the show must go on. Am I right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, my girlfriend did get COVID. I myself am still healthy. We're keeping our distance, but, we're not going to let that get in the way of Sapo Saturdays.
No, definitely not. And I really, really wonder if there's anything to that whole theory of, marijuana keeping COVID away from the system. Because you and I have stayed pretty healthy there, ASAP.
I'd say Kush has a lot to do with that, man. It's very interesting. There are scientific studies. We could post those up at another time, talk about that. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, a whole nother podcast where we'll get into the real medicine of things. But yeah, let's hop on with Abel now and get into some of his music and talk to him a little bit. So, Abel, when we were talking to you before we hopped onto the show, you were kind of telling us that you've been in this space for quite some time. I personally only hopped in about, I would say, maybe 5-6 months ago. And then it was even after that, I think, that I hopped into Frogland, which absolutely changed my life because this project is amazing. And I will continue to say that, no matter how much of an ass kisser it makes me sound like. It's just true. It's just true. But yeah, you've been in the space for quite some time. So why don't you tell us about that?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess there's now there's a benefit to have been in this space for some time, just because it's growing so fast. So the longer and the more time you spend learning, the more you get to see, and it really I don't know, it just kind of like has really ebbed and flowed. And I never, I wouldn't ever assume that anybody's been in here for 6 months or 5 years, or I don't even actually think about that much, because it's such a fresh space every day that new ideas and new inspiration can just like blossom. And I've really I've seen some amazing things happen. First of all, it's changed more friends' lives than I can count on two hands. A lot of my friends that were in the commercial industry, coming from visual arts, never really had an outlet to distribute their art and make a living from it, other than working for a company, and a lot of those times you're compromising your ethics and what you believe in to make money. So this space has opened up a huge opportunity for people to show what they really can do, and I'm talking about, people coming from working on things like Star Wars and, this kind of entertainment level of entertainment. The quality is amazing, so when I guess in this space, it's really kind of opened up to like saying, like, we can now create what we want to create, and then there's a market for that, and it's that really has been the overall kind of like common denominator. So people who really lean into that have benefited, and it's not always easy. I've seen really amazing PFP projects come out, early on, and like I didn't even know what that really was, and I grabbed one because I wanted to support my friend that was doing this type of artwork, and then 6 months go on and it's only sold 25%, and it's like, oh well that's cool. I learned about what that is, and I got that piece, and then wake up the next night 6 months later and it's sold out, and it's like, how is that even possible? But it this is like middle of the night, a community like this is, the thing is that these communities are powerful. When you decide to do something, in a community, it's effective. And so that's really the biggest kind of, I guess, thing that I've seen, is just like, it's opened up my mind to all kinds of different communities and what's possible with that, infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you speak to community, it's like it's interesting, right? Because of course, the artists coming into this space wanted to champion themselves. They've been wanting to champion themselves quite some time, but to see so many people falling behind them as well, and rooting for them and doing everything they can to see them succeed, that's the real beauty of the space. To open our eyes to see how many people there really are out there that support the arts and want to see them flourish.
I mean, I'm coming from an art and music audience, and so that switch and that's the real revolution. Music has kind of had, that ability, and we have rock stars And this, but you know, going back to like what Niqa said about multimedia disciplines, you know, this technology is where all of that really can kind of come together. Something else can happen where it's like includes all of those elements, and it's you know, it's really interesting to see how when you to embrace all of those things and who you are as a creator in the space and a part of the community, start to see how that grows from there. So I think, you know, it's just this when coming, you know, from a commercial aspect where you're yourself up to be did or, you know, work in this certain way, and it's just like one aspect compromised to make a living, whereas space really brings all of those things in. You know, today I have to remember that, you know, people in my life like, oh, you know, you do so many things, video, music, art, you know about tech and all these things, like, you know, you're just, you know, you're so primed. And that's the kind of thing I heard from, you know, all the way from the 90s through the 2000s and then, you know, on until NFTs. And now with NFT, like, we're here, and this is the place where all of those things can come together, and you can do those things with other people. That's really an interesting for me in my life.
Yeah, it's where all these like mediums like meet, right? And not quite in a way that has happened in the past, and it's very interesting that we find ourselves on these platforms, and that's ideally what we're trying to do here with Frogland, is build the next Web3 music platform that people come, stop, share their music, sell it, trade the stems, albums, and also guidance and education. That's a big part of it as well. Yeah, those things that you mentioned are not available in the typical music entertainment, you know, industry. Like for me, I know about a lot of tutorials. I have access to a lot of resources. I also produce stems for a lot of my use in films. So like all those assets and those special things talking about that are related to music, that's you know, for me, that I'm really focusing on is technology. You know, I'm not this to replace everything that we're doing. I'm expecting this to give people like access to a deeper side of music actually is, and experience how that works in the world going forward over time.
Yeah, it's truly an amazing time. We're on the brink of some epic things in terms of that crossroads that you're talking about, where all of these different aspects of art meet. I want to give the audience an opportunity to hear some of your music, so I think ASAP has something queued up. Why don't you take it away, ASAP? Yeah, man, unless, Abel, you have a particular track you'd like me to play from the ones you sent me.
Oh, no, yeah, any one of those songs are, you know, there's plenty to talk about with any of those songs, so yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna play Heart Like Gold.
Yep, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop some of Abel's stuff into the Sapo chat. So why don't you guys from the audience hop in there, and you'll be able to see some information regarding Abel. ASAP, take it away. Already done.
Why are you ready? What's your concern? Do you really think you would learn?
Abel.
That's a vibe.
Abel.
Nice.
Yo, who does the vocals, man?
Yeah, my wife actually is singing.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a group called Red Flower Lake. And so she writes songs, and I produce the music, and we, release music through that.
Man, dude, ethereal. Her voice is very ethereal, and you've got a heart of gold, my friend. That's, man. If that doesn't make you feel something, like I don't know what will.
May I say something really quick, ASAP?
No.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, I'll be quiet again. No, fuck you. Just joking. Abel, that was amazing, my man. I really, again, like the struggles that we went through earlier this morning just to get to this point, like it was. If we had to do double or triple that, it would all be worth it at this point. I'm very happy that we got you on here and were able to showcase your talent, my man. You have some amazing skills. That was phenomenal.
I would love to talk with your wife as well on the show, man. If she's open to that at some point, you guys come on again.
Yeah, absolutely. She would be here normally. She's just camping with our daughter at like a women's, camping event retreat
awesome.
thing for the weekend. So that's like a first, and it was like kind of exciting. But yeah, we'll have to, invite her on for sure.
From a producing standpoint, was that easier or more difficult working with a loved one? Would you be able to take direction easily, or did you not even want to cross that line?
You jumped right into the meat, the heart of the situation. This project, it's interesting because, so I will say that we've been together for a long time, and we have a really deep relationship. And a lot of it has been, based around creativity and making music. That said, it took us 6 years to mature to a point together where we could release our first EP. And that wasn't until 3 years ago. So it's, that's an interesting question. This music is one that's so close to my feelings and our experiences that, yes, it's like the most difficult time because it's hard to separate myself from that, and from maybe some of the lyrics and the songs and what the subject matter that they're coming from is very, real life experience. So that, is the most beautiful moment as I've ever had in the studio, and also the most difficult. I would say if I was to do this deep of a project with any other woman, I don't think my relationship would last.
Right.
Yeah. So that it's that kind of a thing, there's different levels, I guess, of music for me. And this one is at the deepest, most, cellular level of my life. And it brings up the biggest questions.
Yeah, well, to be a little corny about it, they used to say with musical theater that the whole impetus behind the songs was that the emotions of the scene have risen to a point that they can't go any further without just breaking into song. And and I kind of love that sentiment that your relationship has gone to that place where you're able to express things through music with each other and share that as well. That's pretty awesome.
It's really great to hear that perspective, because that gives me hope, as though that there's further to go, and that music can be that expression. I use music to kind of convey that a lot with film, I'll tell a story through that, and I resonate to that aspect of where music comes into our reality. And maybe that's something that I need to accept, being that deep in music, is that it's gonna, the ultimate expression of my feelings are gonna possibly be in musical form,
right,
and not, something else. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a very vulnerable position to put yourself in, but we all appreciate that because that means that we get to experience the beautiful tunes.
Man, it's fucking awesome. Are there? I hear some like violins and stuff. Are those live? Or
yeah, that's another. So I have a big musical family. So my brother-in-law, who's actually married to my wife's twin, he is a musician as well, and he plays violin. He studied violin his whole life, and so I get the opportunity to record.
Yeah,
what are you running the Jackson 5 over there?
Man, it sounds really fucking good, and I love hearing live instruments being put into music like this specifically. Man, it's so cool. And I would love to collaborate with you guys at some point. I hope you dig some of my tunes. Like some of the stuff I'm sending is obviously just like worked on for like an hour or two, and then ideally to collab with other people. But yeah, man. I
heard the organic what you sent over, which is really cool. Part of your project, that you have this like continual collaboration track that's being worked on in different ways. I definitely heard a lot of the kind of organic electronic hybrid crossover, and
that's what I'm looking to do. Ideally,
what's that?
That's what I'm looking to do. Ideally, is that like.
Yeah, see, this is where NFTs and music NFTs really come in strong because I'll just say not every type of music that I make is going to be commercial, right?
Right.
It's kind of a halfway commercial song. So if you go back a little bit in our catalog, you'll hear like our first EP, we mixed that for radio, and so those songs are radio, and they work for that. And that's a certain kind of production. Got further, like, well, let's see, like, if we can bridge the gap a little bit here, because another project that we did to start our group was we partnered with and a soundtrack for her, and it included music, painting.
I'm gonna stop you there because you're cutting in and out, and let me just have you repeat that because I didn't hear who you joined up with there.
We joined up with another artist. Her name is Beatrix Ost. She's actually like pretty old and older generation of artists. And what we did was we created a musical soundtrack for her gallery exhibition. So, that's kind of two sides of what I see music and in my world. And NFTs are more towards the art and the custom music and the access to that. And this space, like going back to the organic and electronic hybrid kind of sound, that's not really like a commercial pop type of music. So, but there's a large audience for people who really want to find that kind of stuff. So I think NFTs are really good at bridging that gap for people who want to be connected to music in a deeper way, and but also you can still listen to pop music and enjoy that, but you may not find that as much in like consumable as much in NFTs, just because they're more complicated.
Well, yeah, and I mean beyond that, the utility that some of these NFTs that are associated with music are going to have beyond, just the face value that you see is going to be really what's going to be the interesting thing that we see. So now I want to pivot a little bit because we do have Niqa here as well, and I want to take a chance to discuss some things with her. So, Abel, we will definitely come back to you, but thank you so much for talking with us for a little bit and coming into the space.
Yeah, and these are subjects that are going to go on forever. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time. I'm excited to hear from you, Niqa, because, let's go.
Yeah.
Abel, I love what I heard, and your wife's voice is amazing. Like, she sounds like an angel. So I love what you guys have going. And, I mean, what a story to add to the music, right? That's fire.
Yeah, thanks, Niqa. I checked your music out, too, so I'm excited to hear about this.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Niqa, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show today as well. You're a very talented artist as well, and I'm so happy and feel very fortunate that the community is going to get to hear from you and hear a little bit about what you're doing and where you're coming from. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your background that you were kind of sharing with us before we hopped on?
Oh, no problem. And thank you so much for having me. My background, my parents have always, raised me, as I would say a very creative child. So I've had multiple talents and I've always tried to find a way to fit them into one career path. I think music made the most sense for me, even when I was younger, because I would look at, artists that were moguls and they were able to take the multiple avenues. And I always knew that there would be multiple avenues that I would need in order to be successful. Through my independent artist journey as an R&B singer and writer, I spent a lot of time just creating things on my own, engineering myself, creating collages, mood boards, editing videos. And all those things helped me to sharpen my skill over time. But I think when I really went to school and actually got a degree for editing and, putting my projects together, I think became easier because of that formal training. I kind of got like lessons in color and just, really finding ways to like take my mixed mediums to the next level. And now that, I've done, working with a label, and I don't really feel like I enjoyed the experience as much as I could have because I'm so used to having so much control over my creative direction in my projects that I think a lot of these labels want to come in and they want you to compromise your vision. And I have such a vivid vision. I just believe that, I got to find a way to put my ideas out directly to my fans. And that's always been an ongoing journey. I would also say...
Oh, sorry, I was going to say you're definitely in the right place. Because, that's exactly what this is all about, is putting the power, the ownership, all of that back into the hands of the artist. And I just, before you go on, I just want to touch really quickly on something you said, because it's so true. You said you have to go down multiple avenues to be successful. And that's something that resonates with me and I think the rest of, our team so much, because we definitely came out to Los Angeles, I think all of us, with a certain in mind in terms of what we wanted to do creatively. And we've done so many other things and gone down so many other avenues in an attempt to facilitate that first thing. And then, there are other things along the way that we've decided we want to do as well, and we really have put our passion behind, and they've become other ambitions. But we definitely felt that same way, that, you have to go down multiple avenues to be successful. And one of the things that I always love that Bugs from the Frogland team talks with us about is the sideways approach to things. And these NFTs and these projects are really like the sideways approach, into the industry, into the business in so many different ways.
It sort of like lowers really the barrier of entry, right? It sort of like lowers the barrier of entry into something that maybe seems like so like intimidating, but I guess now maybe NFTs seem intimidating to the average person, but with education and over time and seeing the benefit of it, I think it becomes an amazing thing. But Niqa, I heard you speak in a Twitter space the other day, and that's I had hopped up and was inspired by what you were saying, and that's why I wanted you to come kind of check out what we're doing over here and see how we can kind of like work together and see how we can help you, see how we can push your music, and then ideally give you a platform to release your NFT albums and stems and do remixes on. So we definitely want to hear a song.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I was going to say, my favorite saying, why wait in traffic, when you can take the back street? I think that NFTs is definitely that short. Now, I don't want to say a shortcut, but it's a way of escaping the algorithm where, we're validating ourselves, we're creating our own paths, and we're moving forward, creating the way that we want to create. And I appreciate, I've never been more proud to be a frog right now. I'm really excited and happy to be here and, excited to create and expand.
Yeah, that's amazing. And tell us a little bit about the movement that you were touching on earlier that kind of brought you into the space.
Oh, I have a good friend named Perfection. She's a producer, female producer, and her and I have been friends for, I want to say, about like 10 years. And we've always been working together. We live in the same apartment complex. Like we produce together, and I think that momentum of just consistently working created so many opportunities for us to just work together as songwriter producer. So Boy Wonder had listened to some of her beats, Drake's producer, in Clubhouse at the time. And then like that full circle moment came where when they were looking for artists and producers for an NFT project, he thought of Perfection as like the first person, you know, who would be great for it. And her working with me every time, when they asked her if she knew any vocalists in mind, she was like, oh, you should ask Niqa. Like, we would love to have her a part of this. And that just changed everything for me because, I mean, I wrote the song so fast and I was able to, you know, get in the studio, return it. And then by the time we sold the NFTs and the money came back, it was faster than any streaming process or anything I had done in the past.
That is wild.
So it kind of made my brain say, wait, hold on, what's going on over here? This NFT space is different because, you know, the turnaround, just like the community, being able to work with so many different creatives, the experience of, you know, working with a bigger brand was nice. But I think it kind of just proved to myself, hey, like I can really, you know, I'm the girl who moved to LA with, you know, $1 and a dream. And I was able to, you know, get into an independent situation, find my freedom, and now find NFTs. And maybe that took about a year of time. But I found myself. I found my creative process. I found my team. I found, you know, people who support me. And now I have community, which is even greater because you know, we all come from a like-minded way. We all kind of took a risk and maybe we all moved on a whim but we made it. And now we're working together to continue the journey.
Yeah, that's amazing. And, you know, I love what you're talking about also, that Drake's producer and the Clubhouse connection, because that's really also the amazing thing about when you talk about community, when you talk about these NFT projects, is the access. You know, you have access to so many different people of so many different levels of importance, just by virtue of the fact that we have the same vision about the future of this space and what all of these things can become, and the community then flourishes and people, you know, are just talking like human beings, and there's no hierarchy that prevents people from communicating, which that's one of the most amazing things, I think.
And I think, you know, it made me fearless in speaking to people and just sharing my story, because look how fast things travel. A lot of people said they heard me in a space. Maybe a few months ago, I would have been scared to raise my hand. But that one time I spoke, you know, it's like a chain reaction, you know, a domino effect. And now I'm interacting with new communities every day.
See, isn't that crazy? Like, the greatest things in life are on the other side of fear, right? And that's something that I need to tell myself. But it's like, you know, we wouldn't be talking to you. We wouldn't know who you are had you not hopped up in that. You know, it's so interesting. It's so very interesting what facing your fears also allows you to do and what that leads you to. So good on you for stepping up to the plate and raising your hand to talk in spaces, and like, look at where it's led you. Look at where, you know, who knows where this.
When you just release that fear, I'm telling you, it's like if I didn't say, hey, my hometown isn't enough for me, I need more, and took the risk, I would have never found this whole, you know, other life.
That's amazing. Niqa, what song do you want me to play? I want some of the people here that are listening to.
You can play on the Way, which is the song that we released with Bacardi and Boy Wonder. We performed it in Puerto Rico, and what you can if you play that one, that's the one that we sold as an NFT.
Awesome.
And then before you play that ASAP, I know Doc wanted to hop in and say something real quick.
For sure.
Yeah, Niqa, I just like what you're talking about with community is so essential to this whole process in my eyes. Just like, because we can never do this whole journey or take on Goliath by ourselves, and it is something where whether it's, you know, fear, ego, or just not putting yourself out there, you know, those are some of the things that I agree all hold us back. So it's just so nice to see, though, that when people do sort of step into that and take that leap, we find so many others that have the same vision and dream, and together we are stronger for it, you know.
Important to, you know, when they say like attracts like, it's important to find people who have the same mindset as you, because, you know, I would have thought I was crazy for believing in a vision. You know, not everybody is going to support you in this process. And, you know, there are some who might support you, but they can only support you with what they've experienced and how far they've gotten. So they don't see a bigger picture sometimes. And I think when you realize how many creatives are not only spiritual, not only, creative, not only enlightened in a different way. It's like we're all connecting for a reason. It's because we're vibrating on a certain frequency together.
I love that. Vibrating on that frequency.
Absolutely.
ASAP, roll that track.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Boy, I really wonder what you're standing all alone for. You only got one life. You got to get right, get right. You see it on the dancer, but I'ma switch your plan up, right? Know what's on my mind. You gotta get right, get right. Ooh, yeah, get the bottles on the way. Told him that's the only thing I drink. When I invite you to the dance floor, the DJ's playing dance hall. You know that we party every day. You know that I always get my way. Grab your girl, grab your man, and get right, get right. No, I quiero bailar. Turn up the club, turn up the crowd, and I'm not alright. Till I'm with you, say what you want, can't turn me down. We get it loud, 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 loud. We get it loud, loud, Feels so good, so special. Now we gotta switch up the tempo. Damn, baby, why you gotta be so handsome? I'm trying to give you more and then some. Oh, and I even got your favorite dress on. All up in your skin like press on. Yeah, you lucky if we make it to the next song. Especially by the way I'm turning you on. Time's up. What you wanna do when I wind up? Bet you wanna know where we wind up. But you really gotta make your mind up. Here's your mind up. Oh, yeah, get the bottles on the way. Told him that's the only thing I drank. Invite you to the dance floor. The DJ's playing dance hall. You know that we party every day. You know that I always get my way. Grab your girl, grab your man, and get right, get right. No, I quiero bailar. Turn up the club, turn up the crowd, and I'm not alright. Till I'm with you, say what you want, can't turn me down. We get it loud, 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 loud. We get it loud, loud,
Wow.
Niqa, you got me over here dancing.
Oh, thank you. I was over here having a little dance party myself. And
Good.
I have to say, this project won a Webby this week.
Wow. Hell yes.
And that was like an unexpected thing, just to be attached to something like this and let it flow, and then it like wins a Webby. I would have never expected to be a part of something, just so cool how it all comes together. So just thank you so much for, this platform. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, no, we're so excited to have
Absolutely.
you on, and
Yeah.
amazing.
She won a Webby.
Yeah,
I feel like that was the whole
everything
audience, but you couldn't hear him, so I just did it digitally.
I keep saying it's amazing that, as much as all of these artists are saying that they're grateful that we've given them this platform, we're so grateful and humbled that so many amazing musicians have agreed to come on the platform. And both you and Abel are awesome. And just hearing this awesome music, it's very exciting that you're in the space and that, potentially we could be collaborating in the future. And it's amazing times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I feel
Sorry, go
so special, Niqa. Like, your music is so good. It doesn't actually surprise me that is winning and, Webby. Like, that, it's so good. The vibe is amazing. Like, I feel so special right now. I was just saying in the chat, like, I really feel like this is just such an experience. Like, thank you so much. Like, it's, wow, like, it's so good. That's all.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is like such a fun time, and Like, I love meeting new people and just, hearing the different sounds. Like, isn't that so inspiring to just hear, what everyone else is working on and up to? It's, I think we're in a renaissance right now artistically, and I'm excited.
So let me ask you a little bit, break the music down slightly. Are you just a vocalist? Do you do any instrumentals? What portion of the music do you contribute to in general?
Well, I'm all like songwriting, concept, arrangements. I'm not a full producer, but I'm definitely the person that's like, behind the engineer's ear on their nerve. Like, hey, can we nudge that? Can we?
Yeah.
I'm real about sound design, and I know exactly what I hear in my mind. So sometimes I'm even making a cappella tracks just to get the idea out. I don't want to be limited, but the melody kind of just flows through me. And I'm also big on just like, for this was a campaign. So it's like, okay, how do I make the producer feel noticed? The brand feel, important, and add the elements without making the song too commercially, you know what I mean? So, including the producer's name in there and just coming up with creative ways to, give the concept, a full vision. And also being, Jamaican and West Indian, and my producer being Dominican, we wanted to add that, Caribbean feel and just show that, like, women in music are killing it. We're minorities, like, but we're still doing our thing.
Is your producer also out here in Los Angeles?
Yes, she is. She's actually upstairs right now. I would have told her to pull up if I would have.
Oh, dope.
She would have had more notice. But
well, once this whole COVID situation is not happening, we definitely need to do a collab in person.
I was really looking forward to that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and talk about Caribbean vibes. Like, that song made me feel like I was on an island. Like, that was dope. So definitely achieved
that's
that.
awesome. Thank
you. Yeah.
Super
I
dope.
wanted to say, Niqa, as well, the last guest we had on here, so we record all these and they're going to be put on for our podcast and all that, the channels. But essentially, he's a artist and an executive, not an executive, but an engineer, and he's worked with some pretty large names. I'm not going to get into all that, but I was in his studio literally last night helping him set up a MetaMask wallet, and he had made a fresh beat for another artist that we know, and he makes a lot of reggaeton beats, and just hearing the beat that was just there, I would love, like, we could easily set up a collaboration with you guys, and his name is Zen Mix, and I think you guys would mesh pretty well, to say the least.
Yeah, it'd be super dope. It'd be super dope to actually hear you.
Is, like, super lit.
Yeah, it'd be really dope to hear you and Guapo do a collaboration. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, we can. If you're in LA, that's something that we can easily, I think, set up. Like I said, I was just at the studio and I was explaining all his seed phrase and do not lose this, do not take a picture. But he's but just then hearing the beat after we got through all that, what he was currently working on was pretty awesome. He's actually working on a loop that was produced by ASAP over here, and we're gonna hopefully be able to showcase that next Saturday. So. But yeah, just saying, we have a lot of people that I just love that we're just building this larger community, and I'm like, okay, let's introduce these people to these guys, and then they're gonna make an awesome hit. You know what I mean? So I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
man, this is definitely the place where collaboration is going to be key, and it's going to make some amazing tracks. I want to kind of bounce back and forth here, so I'm going to bounce back to Abel for a minute or two. Abel, you were telling us a little bit about your first piece and how that was kind of scooped up by a major collector. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about that story?
Sure. Yeah. We can. Yeah, I'm going to go talk about that. And I just wanted to say, Niqa, I think it's really awesome that you're producing with your friend, and it's like an all-female, right, kind of situation where your music is coming from. Is that your producers?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Look, I think that
that's really unique.
There's only like 5% of female producers right now, so we're trying to represent.
Yeah, that's really unique, and that's something that I
Thank you so much.
like really noticed a lot working in the industry. And want, of course, to change, and also like noticed even more when I started in the music with my wife. because, you know, she's also learning how to engineer and do demos and stuff and has her own recording situation. So I'm trying to teach her, and, you know, it's interesting. So I think that this is a really great time for like that kind of education, because I'm like hearing, you know, like what you guys are creating. You know, music is a language, and it's like communication. So like I feel like that's a big part of the vibe that was coming through, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. You know, that I can like feel it, like it was like different, and then it made sense. It was like, oh wow, like you're really connected to your producer in this way. So it just, but yeah, okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, I think that synergy is when you're working with people you love and you care about. That music is gonna come out the way it's supposed to. You know, it's a product of love. So
much different.
I'm sure you know with your wife, it's magic.
This is like kind of, it goes, because this really, it actually ties into my first NFT as well, because I created the music for I put together a music pack for my friend David Ariev, who did the visuals. He's also known as Octane Jesus in the cinema 4D and graphics community.
Which I posted that video in the Sapo Studios chat. Go check that out. It is fucking awesome.
One of our latest and stuff. His work is phenomenal, and I've known him for years, like over 10 years. We started together in production companies and worked side by side, and, you know, went to lunch and bitched about our bosses together, and then, you know, went on our own, you know, ways and independent. And, you know, so he started doing a lot of tutorials. And so I created a music pack for his tutorial just as like a gift, because I knew that the people that were learning were going to want to use like amazing music for their renders from this tutorial. So that's something that I just did because we're good buddies. And so out of that tutorial, he, following his mentor, minted his big render scene on Maker's Place. And so that became my first NFT, his first NFT, and the first NFT that was collected. The collector is known as 888, and he's gone on to do a lot of different things and has a huge collection of amazing artwork. So what happened was, in the middle of the night, I got a text from David saying, hey, you know, our piece, somebody wants to buy it. They want to put a bid in on the auction for the NFT. And I was like, what's an NFT? Like, you know, coming from the commercial world, I was like, okay, is this like a record label or a company or somebody who wants to license our media, basically? I didn't understand that NFT was like its own technology, and that, you know, this was giving people the ability to collect art digitally. So that was a huge, you know, kind of learning curve. I was like, yeah, man, of course, like, let's do it. This sounds fun. Like, I trust you. You're a good friend of mine. Like, I'm sure you're going to work out, you know, a fair deal for everybody. And so he went on to like start negotiating and started sending me all these like messages about like ETH and like all these numbers. And I was like, well, what's ETH? Like, I was like, dude, like, I don't care what you do, because I love what you do and I know you're doing fun stuff. But just tell me, am I trying to negotiate payment here, or like what? Like, I didn't even know at that point that, you know, how that you could like transfer Ethereum to, you know, US dollars. So I knew about like Ethereum and Bitcoin and things like this, but I didn't understand that it could actually pay your bills. So and
you're like, no, just give me cash.
Yeah. So basically, I totally screwed up, and I didn't have a MetaMask or anything. So I basically, you know, for the first like 6 months of my collaborations, I was just taking PayPal payments, and, you know, I was looking at ETH and learning about what it was, and honestly, I wasn't in a position to invest. You know, I have a family, I have 2 kids, and So I have to, be aware of what, so we can have dinner. So, I started to learn more. And when I look back on it, I was like, if I had just borrowed money from people and kept my ETH, my life would have been way different. And so looking at that pattern, from that whole experience, like it was just a mind explosion of like education. I was like, wow, this okay, you can sell visual art, you can sell digital assets. Like people weren't even talking about music NFTs,
So you're saying you're basically the guy that paid for pizza in Bitcoin and and didn't realize the value.
Yeah, for about 6 months probably.
That's
until I started to get a hang of it,
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what's the name of that? Did you send that as one of the songs to us? That first minute?
The link, yeah, it's called "Love in a Time of War," I believe. And
all right, ASAP, why don't you cue that up and let's give that a listen.
Love in a Time of War. I don't know if I have that one.
Okay, ASAP, should I send you that link right now?
Yeah, I just have Heart Like Gold, Heart is Breaking, Mr. MOBA, The Road Ahead.
Okay, yeah, that's just music. So let me send you this is an NFT.
Yeah, just send it to the Sapo email. I just have it open right now. Can pull it up.
Okay. In ASAP or what?
No, just to the Sapo Studios Gmail, the one that you've been conversing with. So just even if you just respond to that email that you already sent 2 hours ago, where you sent me all the song options for today.
Yeah, and I would just like to highlight also that Abel, you were talking about working with a David, and we've now accidentally and purposely doxed ourselves several times as David's, me and ASAP. There's something about the name that just brings creativity, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting you guys brought that up. I collaborate with another David, so we have to go by Sawchak and Octane Jesus.
Yeah.
We actually all know each other as well, and he is an amazing artist and did the floppy disk artwork for if you go to my Twitter and look at that pinned tweet.
Yeah, I actually see it on your SoundCloud too, right?
Yeah,
it says recent,
so that
the Midnight Boulevard.
What's that?
Midnight Boulevard and Promenade.
Yeah, Midnight Boulevard. Yeah, so that's a cyberpunk themed EP that we're about to drop the rest of.
Actually, this is what's playing in the background right now.
You can play that
too.
I sent the other link. You guys are being very nice. And yeah, so this is actually kind of goes back to utility and NFTs and music licensing. So this is the first music NFT collection that is has some rights attached to it, and I'm working out some mechanics for secondary sales and things like that to benefit the one-of-one holders that I've collected already in my collection and things like this. So that's a big part of where I see music and NFTs going forward. Is it can support us as creators and different projects, all the different types of things we want to do. Like Nico said, we're multidisciplinary artists, and this is something that there's a lot of different ideas that people have. So I think as collectors are supporting the musicians and the artists going forward, they can also be rewarded as though they're in a producer role. So that's something that I've worked with a lot in music licensing and working out collaborations that way. And I see NFTs as a huge opportunity for people to get involved with things like you were mentioning, stems and those aspects of music. Just think about owning a sound that's in let's say Niqua's song that we just heard, right? So maybe there's an NFT version of that song, or but also there can be a deeper level of tokenization of the music elements. You could even do that with your lyrics, phrase by phrase. There's a lot of ways that I think about what we're creating and how we can create large collections and bridge these things together. So let's just take that a step further and say that if you did own one of those samples and Niqa produced a song with it, that would be pretty cool. What would also be pretty cool is if one of those samples, you owned another one from ASAP Froggy, or I can't, and the collab that's going around in Frogland. And those two NFT samples were put together in another production. So now you're part of something from two communities. And you know what I mean? Like, it's at the base level. So it's not saying, yeah, I own an NFT of that song. It's, that snare sound. Yeah, I have an NFT of that. So I'm part of the song in that way.
Right.
So that's how I'm coming to the NFT music space in some of these projects.
That is exactly what we're doing over here with working with Frogland, building the marketplace and the easy accessibility to do all of what you're discussing right there, Abel, and to be able to do so and not get screwed and lose, the rights or the majority of ownership of something that you put your heart and soul into, So that's, I love what you're saying, and that's exactly what we're over here trying to build. Nikia, I saw your mic go off. What's up?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, I was gonna say, I love the idea of just like breaking it down even to the instruments. Like, I do have vocal kits that I like wanted to put out and never did, where I'm just like recording like different melodies, different ideas. And I think like to even give your fans, like you said, the tokenization of that, like that's fire. And I never would have even thought, you know what I'm saying, to like take it that far. But I think there's so many ways that we can create, like you said, create as many products and content and, NFTs as possible with variety. There's so many ways you can go with this. And I love the limitlessness of this space.
That being said, this is, excuse me. Go ahead, Abel.
I agree that that's great. Because it's like, it gives you this kind of platform, and it says, hey, you can, basically anything is possible in a certain sense. So then the question now becomes like, oh, well, what's important to you? Like, I love hearing that you have, sample packs sort of set aside and ideas like that. Like, because that's of interest and importance to you as an artist, that now means something to me. And, you could, in the past, kind of like just upload that to a random platform and see what happens. But, what I love is the connection in this space, and like it goes back to what you're saying about doing these things and not getting screwed over. Just in the sense that the blockchain is like a record and a permanence. So there's a certain way you can use it to build these things. Like, yet you still have to be smart, because there's not a huge market. Like, it's not like every NFT that you release in 100 editions is going to fly off the shelf, and that's like a real reality as well. Like, so it's like, how do we, that's why it's so great coming to this community and doing these talks, because we get to kind of cross-pollinate.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we have. Some things that we just can't share due to the things that we're trying to build and all that, but we are very excited to get down to the nitty-gritty of all that and sort of release what is, what's coming in the future from us. So, because we are obviously over here trying to establish a platform and give artists the space and the ability to do what they do best, and also find placement for their music and actually make money. So that is our main focus, and I just feel so grateful that we have so many people that are like-minded. So I'm gonna let Bingus take it from here.
Yeah, no, ASAP, you got that song queued up?
Yep.
All right, excellent.
Actually,
take it away.
It's actually like a video as well, which is cool. So I'll share this link. It's on Marker's Place, Love in the Time of Space Invaders, edition 1 of 1. Super dope. Actually, there's none for sale, Abel, huh?
What's that?
Are they all like, this was sold as, they all like, you cannot purchase this anymore, can you?
No, that's a one of one that was collected by 888. So no, that's not for sale.
Super cool.
I'm kind of in a strange place where I don't have a lot of things for sale. Luckily, I sold out my music collection, and I have a few one of ones on like Foundation, and those are great. But yeah, this one is a piece from that's already collected. So yeah.
Dude, this is cool. It says, this is the first part of a full CG short film that I created completely solo, telling the story of a couple living in a cyberpunk world trying to reunite during a deadly alien invasion. I created this in Cinema 4D and Octane render over the course of 2 months. I'm super excited to watch this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Why don't you roll that track?
Abel, this is an insane video. I need to post this link so people can go watch this.
Yeah,
Holy!
Listening to the music, it's so epic, and you have to watch the video. Let's put it that way.
Like the music is epic. Yes, just listening to it solo, I'm sure, but paired with the video, wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thanks, and David made this, or you made this video?
No, David is the visual artist. So
wow.
He is,
man, that's insane.
It's incredible. He's done, visual, like, we come from doing visuals for live music. Like, we did like Dave Matthews Band, cool. Enrique Iglesias, Miranda Lambert, like a bunch of different artists in the, major music industry stuff. And he, went on, he does like things for like Dead Mouse and went on into EDM. And I went on into creating music for film. And we sort of connected at a production company, and I did sound design for some of his artworks when he was first starting. And so he's a very good friend of mine, and we're both very talented in what we do. So we're just like so happy to put it together. And this space has just like absorbed that and taken it to the next level.
Yeah, it really has. And we're just moving exactly in the direction where projects like this flourish. So it's awesome times. In the name of this space, music collaboration and all of that, we usually do a jam session towards the end of our show, which I do want to move into now. But before we do that, I want to feature one more of Niqa's songs as well. So Niqa, out of the tracks you sent us,
this is the other one. Yep, there's only one more. There's only one more that she sent, David.
Okay, I think Bosch It is the next one. Just to give you guys like I guess a story behind the song real quick is this was one of the songs that I released with the label, and we shot a whole video for it. And I think that I realized coming into the NFT space that we could mint music videos, right? So this is going to be my next mint, the music video that I put out in Web 2, but I realized that it can have a whole new life in Web 3. So the project will be called Boss Shit Reloaded, and it's going to have like a movie poster, some cover arts that we like didn't choose for the final, but they were still really good. That can be, collectibles as well. I'm making like my own behind the scenes, like making the video segment that I edited myself, like with some VHS footage. So it kind of just gave me a chance to like take a project that I really cared about and really just put it in front of the right audience. Now that I know that there's a whole space for music NFTs. So alas, bosh it.
It's so awesome. And before he rolls that track, I just wanted to ask you to definitely drop any links that you'd like to share in that Sapo chat that we haven't shared already. Anything that you're selling, any indications to things you have upcoming.
I think I'm going to do that right now.
Excellent. ASAP, go ahead and roll that track.
Didn't you give me a badge just to keep me around? If you didn't, you need to. Cartier prices from niggas you claiming, yeah, I'm about to rise, I don't need you. This Louis top of the see-through, he see me a lot, he don't see you. We freakin', we shop, but we eat too. He lying about me to keep you. Say I'm his boss when I meet you. You Saint Laurent, they ask for pics when it's sneaker. I get 50K to get on a feature. If I don't get it, I won't get on it neither. You shouldn't have fronted when the shit was just cheaper. Boss shit, I say sometime by not paying a meter. I just saw the ticket when I was drifting, and I got my assistant to pay with the visa. I do not fuck with you bitches, don't play with me neither. Yeah. I might just bat me a nigga to play with his heater. I get the feeling that you really feeling me, that's what you like, yeah. You wanna fuck with me, then baby, you gotta get on my time. A nigga just told me I act like a nigga, I'm up on that time, yeah. He got you a rollie, but in that like mine, they don't got all the diamonds. I don't got bands for these haters, I only got hands for these haters, ain't doing no favors. I got a nigga to drive me where I be doing me, and no, I ain't doing it later. Went through like 50 in paper, she only just talk about paper, that bitch is a faker. I cop a A-Fac, it's fancy, I really spend more on my makeup, you niggas is basic. Boss shit, outside in the AMG reading my message. I just had a nigga that I was testing, but it's sending the cash up to dead all the questions. Yeah, this ain't no jeweler, it's straight out the freezer. Yeah. You ain't no shooter, don't play with me neither. I get the feeling that you really feeling me, that's what you like, yeah. You wanna fuck with me, then baby, you gotta get on my time, A nigga just told me I act like a nigga, I'm up on that time, yeah. He got you a rollie, but in that like mine, they don't got all the diamonds.
Yo, this is fucking dope, Niqa. Super dope, Niqa.
Yeah, I mean, the other exciting thing that I've been saying to all of our guests is that you guys are all just expanding the music that I'm going to be listening to, because every new episode of this show is making me a fan of a new artist, and I can't wait to listen to more of your music.
I love this. I think that this is amazing. I'm definitely somebody who likes a lot of different kinds of music, so this goes well for me. The NFT space definitely is great for just amazing variety of different kinds of music that has stuff that it sounds what I love about your music, Niqa, like the track before it really brought me to a place of where I started. I really loved R&B in the 90s, 92.3 The Beat, radio station, and just that vibe, mixtapes and all that stuff. And then this one is
Yo, it's so crazy you're saying this because I literally I started my own radio show, Niqa Night Radio, but that's like we're doing like a quiet storm where it's like a Web3 space for R&B lovers. So
Yeah.
this is like alignment.
I had the radio under my pillow, and this is it's like our generation is now getting a chance to kind of give some of these things back that are cool. Like that's a whole vibe. And then it's like your other song that we just listened to even is like I would call it more modern. And it's like the context of it even is like a more modern like mind state, and the sounds represent that. And so, I think that that's super cool. And you don't find that a lot everywhere, like things, they get filtered a lot when out in the normal worlds, like you're saying you have this music video Reloaded, and you're going to be giving like the A and the B and the C version, which you had to choose through. Now you don't have to choose through it. You just have to, present it and make it available. And I think that that's what's really interesting about this. Like, it's like for me, I go, yeah, maybe I would like the B version, like, because I'm just that kind of person, like I want to collect interesting, unique things. And that's, so yeah, I just love it. Like the variety. So you guys, thank you for putting together a really great show. Today I feel like I learned a lot. I got a lot out of it just being here too. So I'm happy.
Thank you. So one thing I wanted to add to that really quick before Niqa hops on there, I apologize, but there's always something that you can add even after the fact of writing a smart contract to OG Genesis collectors. Just say that, you did, all these people that really were your true fans did collect something. You can do a snapshot later on of all those wallets, that hold that item. And, maybe they get your next drop. They get one of your next drops because they were an OG collector. So just some food for thought. But Niqa, take it away.
This has been like a really awesome experience. I'm really into world building. And I think when it comes to being an artist that has different vibes, you have to be able to package them in ways that people can understand. And I try not to limit my creativity because I do have a bunch of alter egos, but I think Web3 gives me a space to actually, use my alter egos. Like I'm a frog right now, like it gives us a chance to just try different things and be who we really want to be at the core. And, I think that's like what the whole fun of this process has been. It's just playing different characters and just finding ways to present them to the world.
Well, and to that end of being a frog, I really do love to show this project really hard. It's amazing. So not financial advice, but for both you and Abel to consider if you are out there in the market for NFTs at a time when Ethereum is down and the projects are kind of in a prime position to buy. Frogland is doing a land drop in June. The NFTs are amazing. The team is unbelievable. There's a lot of information in the Discord that you could check out. So definitely something to consider. Regardless of whether you become frog holders, you're definitely now part of the Sapo extended family, and we'll definitely be collaborating with you and love to have you back in the space.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too.
So, yeah, no, thank you both so much for coming on. It's been a privilege, and I think we're going to move into a jam session now. So the way this works is that ASAP is going to be running the board over at his place, and he's going to start playing some things and layering the track out, and he'll keep just kind of doing that. But if you feel so inclined to share something to that track, you can go ahead and email that over to us, and he can kind of try to layer that in. So that's kind of what we're going to do now. So ASAP, you have that all set up?
Yes, sir. Almost getting there.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, I as well. While he's doing that, ASAP, you just tell me to shut up whenever you have that up. But really appreciate this and this whole situation, how it came to be, how ASAP was mentioning, just being on a Twitter space and hearing people talk and kind of putting yourself out there. So again, I appreciate both of you very much for being willing to talk to some frog people, you know what I mean, and take a dive with us. I know, Niqa, you were already a frog, but Abel, I appreciate you taking the ride with us, and we look forward to where we're going from here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't lie. I want a frog. They look good.
Yo, you can snipe some on rarity tools right now. I mean, ASAP over here is always trying to snipe some rare frogs. So he might, if he's willing, he may give you some alpha on a couple that he's been keeping his eye on. But I can't promise that.
I could definitely make the research process easier for you and kind of send you some ones that I would recommend.
Excellent. All right, guys. With that, I think we're going to close it out with ASAP just playing some of that loop, yeah?
So I just got a text from Mr. Bingus talking about that he's sending over some stems. Let's see what the addition is.
Might be crap, but see if it works.
Alright, this is our addition, David.
Well, I sent you two. That's the first one. It's basic, but I think it'll layer in.
Alright, let's see. Let me download the other one real quick.
Sounds so stupid by itself.
Hey man, you also sound stupid by yourself, but you sound better with us.
It's very true. Alright, you gotta add in some of the rest of the tracks so you don't make me look like such a jackass.
No, man. I'm just letting people see what you got here. I also just gotta make sure. I don't think it's in the right key there, Dave.
Alright, you keep rocking. I'll go back to flipping burgers for a living.
No, man. Keep creating. On to the next stem, Dave. Simple.
I made a little voice memo, but I don't. How can I send it?
Yeah, if you want to email that over to the Gmail, that'd be great.
For sure, but I mean, hopefully the timing works because I had to mute the beat to do it. But see, you never know.
Yeah, we'll play around with it.
I can definitely switch it around and kind of maneuver some of the things.
Hold on, let me just email real quick.
Dope.
I also sent you something. I'll say so. Not sure if it's worth playing.
Tight. I'm just going to go ahead and start a new project file since we're adding all these new tracks. It's always good to start different versions of your work. That's something I learned in video editing because sometimes you'll do a bunch of edits and then be like, fuck, I like the way that was before. And then it's a whole situation. So if you get your track to a certain point, it's always good to kind of like save that version, start a new project alternative, and then you can always go back to that. Pull stems from that you've like recreated or lost. So good to always do that. So this can be version number 2. Okay. So that this way it's easy to add Mr. Bingus's tracks here and also Niqa's tracks. Yo, Bingus, let me ask you, how are you making these stems just in GarageBand?
Yeah, so I went into GarageBand. I pulled up the musical typing feature, which allows you to turn your keyboard into a keyboard. It turns your keyboard into a little piano there, and you can do a bunch of stuff there. You can change octaves if you need to. You can add on all sorts of effects. So, I'm not as advanced as you are, but trying to contribute.
So this, like, is that like starting on the 1 there?
It's a good question.
Or are you one of those people that you kind of put things in the offbeat position?
It's hard to say because when I was like listening and trying to find the right.
Is this more it?
I thought I jumped in on the 1.
Something like that? Is that what you were thinking? Like something like that?
Listen, if it doesn't blend in, it doesn't blend in. That's cool.
No, I'm saying I'm just asking because it could go in either spot realistically.
Yeah, you put it wherever it sounds better, man.
It's like a slight bit rushed.
And the way I exported it, you can't move those notes around.
No, you exported it as
a full MP3.
as an audio file. If you click export as MIDI file, maybe you can do that, and then I can kind of like quantize the notes that you're sending me. And you're doing 103 BPM.
I wasn't setting the BPM. I was just listening to the song and doing it by feel.
And are you quantizing this, David? So what you should be doing is playing what you want to play, like, because you have the loop, right? So you would drag that loop into your GarageBand, like set your settings initially to 103 BPM, drag the loop that you already have that was sent to the community as well, and then start playing your piece. But then once you've added your notes, go down to the MIDI section. Like you can, I'm sure GarageBand is similar to Logic, where you could hit E and that'll bring up like your editing area, like right under your project file area, and you can grab, like, highlight all the MIDI notes in there and just hit Command A to do that once you've like selected the editing area, and then just hit Q on your keyboard, and that'll just nudge all the notes to quantize them, since you're not playing them on time, David.
Okay, I will try to do that.
Yeah. So that would
you keep rocking, and I'll do my best to make that happen.
Yeah, it's gonna work. That's the whole point of the software, and that's why it's a lot easier than people think it is. And like that's kind of what Bugs was saying early on, was like, yo, like this is something that realistically, like, you don't even have to be the greatest musician to do with the software that's out there. Like you can kind of play what you think you have in your head, and if those aren't the right notes, you would just scroll on the little keyboard area with that note until you hear the right note, leave it there, and now you're creating a whole instrument that like you might not be able to play by yourself. So let's hear it, David. Let's see if Niqa sent this track as well. Niqa, did you email that?
It's 2 o'clock.
I'm pinging my email right now. I had to turn off my phone and turn it back on. So.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm sending it now.
Dope. Super dope.
I can hear that ASAP is noodling around on that gorgeous new Fender guitar he bought.
I sent from an email that says Y2K World Tour. So you should see Niqa idea.
Dope, I see it.
I think I quantized it. Not sure if I did it correctly, but I sent it over.
All right, dope.
Niqa, I love your voice. It's gorgeous.
Thank you so much. I was like, let me just have a little something. It's fun.
Yeah, awesome. Love it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna figure out how to mix all this here. Get a bigger screen because I have a different setup going today. Not as much space to work in given the whole COVID situation. Niqa, this is dope.
I'm so good together. I'm happy that it's
I'm about to make it all work. It's super.
I love
cool.
the effect. I love the effects.
Oh, it's definitely not done yet. I'm just nudging all these little vocal pieces that she sent over. It sounds fucking cool. And just nudging them so the timing lines up. This is super cool that you've done this, Niqa. It kind of shows the community what we've kind of been trying to get people to do and bring people to collaborate. I mean, normally you would be doing this here like at our home studio, but because of this COVID situation, we're not doing it that way. And
yeah, you guys are inspiring me because look how easy it is to just, connect and make music. It's kind of like there's no excuse. So I was like, I gotta, show up and do something, at least, a sample or something.
It's so cool. I love it.
Well, yeah, and just, to go back to like our first shows, what we kind of explained is like, we feel like this is Steve Jobs in the garage stage, right? Like, this is just the first iteration, but where this thing will go once, a platform is built out for it, and we have sort of an easier flow of having that collaborative process for the artists. It's going to be unbelievable.
I can't wait to see the evolution of all this. It's so fun.
Yeah, and then definitely doing tracks in real life here pretty soon.
Just a thought ASAP, what if you clipped the track, split it, so that last is separate and further delayed?
Why don't you go ahead and send me that note, you singing it, because that was beautiful.
So while he's doing that, Niqa, let me just ask you a question real quick. Are you someone that carries your phone around all the time, and you're always, well, obviously you carry your phone around, but you're always recording ideas, like you have musical inspiration coming to you, or are you more of a person that needs that structure to where you set aside that time to go and be creative, and that's when you do that?
I'm having a more relaxed approach nowadays. I mean, I've always been a person who, like, if I have like a poem idea or like some lyrics, I'll always jot them down in my notes. But now that I've been into like this mixtape era where I'm creating skits, I'm definitely recording myself talking or sounds all the time because, having a radio show, you got to have drops, you got to have effects, you got to have things ready, and I like to keep them organic. So this is kind of like a thing for me where it's like my process is either I'm in my notepads heavy and I'm like taking a ton of pictures and writing to those pictures, or I'm in my voice memos.
For sure. And just out of curiosity, from a musical inspiration point of view, who are the artists that really kind of inspire you musically?
Mariah Carey, Christina Aguilera, I would say Whitney Houston, Aaliyah.
Yeah, you like everyone
Lauryn Hill.
The booming pipes.
I'm a real big R&B fan. I grew up on like vocalists, so I love, strong vocals.
Yeah, I mean, all those women are so impressive when it comes to what they can do vocally. Niqa, you said you came out to LA just like we did. Where were you before that?
Alley, and then I went to Koreatown, and now I'm downtown.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I mean before California.
A New Yorker. I was in Long Island.
New Yorker.
Stop. I'm from Long Island.
Hey, what part?
My parents lived in Great Neck before they moved out of there, like, probably over 10 years ago at this point.
I went to Brentwood High School, and then I did Malvern. So, like, I was in Nassau and Suffolk County a little bit.
Nassau County in the house. Love it.
That's so crazy. Small world, huh?
Very small world. So, do you prefer the East Coast or the West Coast?
Visuals. So, I love the West Coast. Like, I think the weather affects my mood and my happiness. And, like, it's not that I don't mind the cold, but I'd rather go back for the holidays than to, like, be cold year round. And then,
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I like to be outside. I like to be, the weather, like the mountains, the trees. Like, I got to be around visuals.
So let me ask you though, I feel like you lose some of the buzz and electricity coming from the East Coast to the West Coast because everyone and everything is so laid back here. I mean, there's definitely still a lot of business that goes on, and there's definitely hustlers. You're clearly a hustler. We're trying to hustle. But do you feel any of that sort of like loss of that electricity?
Bring the electricity. I'm like, you can take, me out of New York, but you can't take the New Yorker out of me. So
well, that's true.
Bring all the vibes on over because I don't know. I just think that I'm always a person who needs the resources to get things done. And if I want to shoot a video or just do anything creatively, like my whole team, like I found a whole like seamstress, a stylist. Like there's just a lot of creatives out here, so I kind of feel like I can just build my own world,
Listen, you're preaching to the choir. No matter how much I love New York, I'm still out here, so.
I think a bi-coastal situation is nice, holidays and summertime. Like, I'm going to probably go out there for like a week or two, maybe NFT NYC, who knows. But
I really want to go to I really want to go there for NFT NYC. We need to do a Sapo Studios thing out there, man. Let's just go stay at your parents' house, Dave.
If it weren't for the fact that I'm already going to New York on Monday, and I'm just going to miss it, I might have planned a trip for that.
Yeah, that would be dope. Yeah. Are any of the Frogland devs going to be out there?
Good question.
Repping the Frogland team.
Are indeed.
Awesome. Good.
Don't forget those jackets, Lolly.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely need them.
It's like 70 degrees and humid in New York right now. You don't need it.
Nah, just bundle up, man. Get as many jackets on as you can. That's what blows me away about LA. You know what I mean? When you see just somebody just wrapped in a sweater and it's like 90 outside. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
It's fashion over comfort, man.
Yeah, Kanye, when he was at the I think it was the Super Bowl and he's wearing his outfit, it was, who was it that, oh man, of course I'm not going to remember his name, the comedian that brought together like Seth Rogen and who's the main guy that makes all of those comedies with Seth Rogen and...
You mean Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow, thank you. I cannot remember his name, but apparently Judd Apatow was sitting like a couple feet away from Kanye at the Super Bowl as well, and he heard him talking to his boy and how he's like, man, I'm sweating my ass off in this like fully, black covered outfit that he had on, and his boy's like, I told you, man, don't wear that, bro, it's hot. And Kanye's just like, whatever, I committed now. So yeah, bro, it's fashion, bro. I guess
they say it's better to look good than to feel good.
I don't know. If I feel good, I feel like I look. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, you work on that.
You just always look like a doofus, man. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my role, man. See, if I set the bar so low, the moment that I actually put myself together, people are like, "Oh my god, you look fantastic."
Wonderful. Yeah, that's kind of how I roll about it too. I don't try to look good until I need to look good, right?
I'm actually really looking forward to that day where everyone says, "Hey, Doc Froggle Day really cleans up nice."
Yeah. we just need an event.
He doesn't have that drool hanging off his lip like usual.
Oh man,
no, I think
I heard your frog Yonsei in the back there giggling.
Yeah, speaking of a seamstress, she's literally hemming my pants that have been torn several times because I have no butt at all, but somehow the contortionist moves I make when simply picking up a piece of paper from the floor cause ginormous rips in these pants. So
maybe you should just rid the pants.
You tell Tarantula Falcon over there that I may be sending some pants her way to hem.
Bro, I got a guy actually out here in LA too. I mean, Niqa, I know you say you got one already, but I got some pants I'm gonna have some, work done on soon. So, but we're getting off topic right now, guys.
Hey, Sapo, why don't you turn up those tunes a bit?
Super cool, Niqa.
Such a vibe. It's like super dancey.
Sick. Niqa, those vocals are dope.
Thank you.
love that reverb that you put on that too.
I just asked my fiance, Tarantula Falcon over here, if she wants to hit the bowl, and she's like, yeah.
I'm screaming.
She's like, yeah.
I'm sparking one in honor of that.
Yo, you just set the vibe off with that. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm about to spark one too. Then.
Hey, light it if you go.
You're taking it up a notch, I see.
That's what the Kush does to ASAP. That and mushrooms.
Now time to bring in Mr. Bingus's quantized track here. Niqa, I'm definitely going to keep working on this past this show here, and then also send off to a mixer to see what we could do. And then, yeah, this is just... So the idea here of the show as well is essentially called Scratch Track Saturdays. So these are just scratch track ideas of songs that ideally we would build upon later, kind of use some of the stems, use like some of the vocal melodies that are here to create like a full-on track. So this is a pretty amazing start.
We're dope.
This might work. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Niqa, thank you so much for taking part in this longer than normal episode.
This is the coolest thing I've ever done, so thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We definitely want to, follow up and have you on future episodes, kind of keep up to date with what you're doing. We want to keep you in the loop as to what we're doing with Frogland, and once the platform is available, we definitely want to do a drop with you, and also further this collaboration of this track. Once I go through it and send things, I'd love to have your producer. Like, I can send her the stems and do with it what you will.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, I'm here. Just reach out. I'm a part of whatever you guys got going on, and I'm down to collab in the future, in person, whatever, But
love it. Love your spirit and attitude. I just want to echo what Asaph said. Thank you so much for coming on today. It was a privilege and an honor to have you. You're so talented, and we really appreciate your time and everything that you shared with our audience.
Absolutely.
So much. Great, amazing vibes. Happy to start off my Saturday this way.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
the whole point.
With that, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you as well, Niqa. Fantastic work. You're an amazing person. With not even speaking about your art. Your art is just top notch. But you as an individual, it was a pleasure getting to know you, and I look forward to getting to know you more.
You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you guys. This was honestly super, super rewarding for me. So, Frog family forever. Let's get it.
Yeah. Awesome. And with that, thank you to our audience as well for all of you that stayed for this long period of time. For some of you that hopped in and out or just hopped in kind of late, we appreciate you all coming whenever you do to Sapo Studios to share in the experience and show us that the community is here. So we love you all. And ASAP, why don't you turn up that tune, play it for a minute, and then that'll be that.
Catch you all later. Enjoy your Saturday. Sapo Studios is out.